Hello, my name is Mitch, and here at the Toronto Zoo, our mission is to connect people, animals, and conservation science to fight extinction. So we're here today with the hyenas. We've got 4 hyenas. We've got Echo behind me here on exhibit. He's one of our males. He's 10 years old, and we have Kanzi over here. She's 8 years old. We have a toy here. It is there's a ball inside of here that we've got kibble and meat in it. We usually call it the butt scratcher because that's their favorite thing to do. They like to scratch their butts on the bottom. So the majority of their diet here at the zoo is meat. They're carnivores, pretty much strictly carnivores. We give them a couple of veggies here and there for fiber. But the majority of their meat is all ground up, but we also give them bones. So I got a bone I'm going to give to her for you guys to see. You'll hear how loud they crunch and how powerful their jaw is. So the hyenas have a lot of vocalizations. Right now you're hearing kind of like a squeal and a giggle, and that's just excitement. She's really excited to eat her bone. She likes to show off her bone as she gets really excited. So you can hear her crunching up the bone. So a huge carcass in the wild, they don't leave anything left over. They will eat everything. You can hear her crunching. They've got really strong jaw muscles. About half of their head is made up of jaw muscles. So that's why their heads are so big and so powerful. They have teeth on the back, just like our molars, but they're called carnassial teeth, and they're really, really sharp. And they're kind of positioned right at the peak amount of power. So these guys, basically pound for pound, have the strongest jaws in the animal kingdom. You see how fast she eats too. In the wild, they usually hunt in groups of up to about 20. They can also take down animals, smaller animals by themselves. Basically, they gotta eat as fast as they can, especially males. Males are actually at the bottom of the kind of the totem pole in the hierarchy of their social structure. Females are top notch. Any female that's born is automatically got a higher position than any male. So when they're born, they stay with their clan till about 2 years old, and then the boys take off and they kind of find their own clan. They find a new clan to move into and kind of just wait to work their way up the social structure. There's no real fighting or anything. They kind of just have to wait until an older one dies or leaves for them to be seen as a mate for breeding. So she's going to work on that for a while. We're actually going to go around to the other side of the exhibit and see the new training wall. We'll go over there with Echo. So I got a bit of meat here for them. As I said, the majority of their meat is ground up, but this stuff is actually kind of like in strip form. So you guys might recognize this area of the zoo. This is kind of our lion road area, we call it. So we have the porcupines here on our left, and the lions are out here on our right. So as I said, the hyenas have a pretty cool social structure. Any female that is born, as I said, stays with their clan. The males take off and they go and find their own. So we'll come out here and see. This is one of our boys, Echo. As I said earlier, he's 10 years old. He's really excited for training. As you can see, he's running around. So he's ready to be trained. We've just started using the training wall. You guys may have seen it as you've been here at the zoo. I'm going to go around the other side and get it opened up. start to hear him giggling. They've got many different sounds. This is one of their excitement sounds. They also have big whoops, so in the morning if you guys come to the zoo, you can see them, you can actually hear them. From all over the zoo, they got really low frequency, so their call travels really far. And that's kind of for them to talk to each other, especially at night when they're hunting. They do the majority of their hunting at night when it's dark, and it's kind of the prime for them. They got really good sight. Echo thinks we're back there still, so I'll get some more. Echo! So we have a lot of behaviors that these guys know. They know basic sit down, lie down, they know up. One of the coolest ones we do is they present their shoulders, so he's really excited. First I'll get him to stand up. Well, here, buddy. Echo. Another behavior we do is we can get them to lean in and give them their shoulders, so we can give them injections. So once a year these guys get knocked down, is the term we use for basically to put them under anesthesia. These guys are protected contact animals. We don't go in with them. They're quite dangerous. They do know us, they like us, but their jaw is very powerful, and if they decided to accidentally bite us, it would cause a lot of damage. So. Echo, come here. Target. Here. Shoulder. So right there, we could poke him in the shoulder with any vaccine we had to give. So yeah, as I said, we do the basic once a year knockdown, kind of like a physical that we get at the doctor. But for them, if there's any other issues that we can't really go in with them and we want to check out, we'll basically be able to give them injections slowly without having to dart them or tranquilize them, which can be stressful for them. So it's easier for us just to give a nice little needle. So I'll show you two one more time and give them a little bit more food. Good boy. So there you go. So we're going to end the session now. He did really well there. It shows us cool little couple behaviors. They know a lot more, but we don't have too much time. So we're actually going to go back around to where we started, where Kanzi was, and meet the other two, and then we'll wrap it up and answer a bunch of questions.
Okay, so a few questions. How long do these guys live in the wild?
So in the wild, they live about 15 to 20 years. In captivity, they can live a lot longer, up to about 25 years. So our oldest male is Moj. We'll actually see him on the other side. He's going to be 21 this year.
Okay, another question. Do they shed their fur?
Seasonally, yeah, as the season warms up. Here in Canada, their temperature variation is a lot bigger than it would be in Africa. They can, obviously, you guys live here, we know, we can get down to minus 30 and we can get up to positive 30. So in the summer, they'll kind of shed off a bit of their fur, but it's not a whole lot. They usually keep the majority of their fur all year.
And this is a good question. Do they have similar instincts to wolves?
Yeah, that is a good question. So yeah, they do hunt in a pack. They're unlike cats, where a lot of them hunt individually. They kind of do their power in numbers thing. It's easier for them to take down larger prey. And since there is so many mouths to feed in the clan, they do need a lot of meat.
And how much do they eat?
So they can eat up to about a third of their body weight in one sitting, which is actually pretty cool. Here at the zoo, we feed them a little bit every day. Easier for us to manage their weight. So right now, the majority of them are getting about 1.5 kilos of meat, of ground up meat, and a couple of them who are a little heavy have a little bit less than that.
Okay, and how many are there at the zoo?
We've got 4. So we met Kanzi at the beginning there. Echo is just on display, and then hopefully Penduli and Moj will come out to see us, so we'll see them now.
Okay, And another interesting question, do they wag their tails similar to dogs?
They do. So when they get excited, they like to wag them around. When they're kind of alert or they're not sure what's going on, they get all perked up with their ears and their hackles kind of go up, and they'll actually flip their tail like straight up. It's pretty cool.
So another interesting question, what do they like to watch on TV?
Oh, that is a good question. So yes, they do actually watch a lot of TV. Their favorite are the Disney movies. They really like The Lion King, which they're not too happy about the way they're portrayed in The Lion King, because actually they're kind of given a bad rap. They're known as scavengers, but what we like to call them is they're opportunistic. So they'll pick up, they'll take a kill from other animals, but the majority of their kill they actually do hunt themselves. It's actually lions that will take a lot of kills from hyenas. So.
Excellent. So somebody else is wondering, how many babies do they have?
So they can have anywhere from 1 to 4 cubs. They usually have twins though. So this is Moj here. Give him a little piece of meat. So Moj is going to be 21 years old this year. So that's a good age. As I said, captivity, they can live up to about 25.
Okay, and somebody else would like to know, how can you tell the difference between a boy and a girl hyena?
So the difference between boy and girl is fairly similar to the way we know the difference between us, except these guys, the girls are actually dominant and they have what's called a pseudopenis. So it looks very similar, their genitalia is very similar to the males, but the girls are actually larger than males. They're more dominant in the hyena world. So they need to be able to, the bigger they are, they can get into a kill and kind of fight their way in there and get feed their babies. So.
Okay, so another interesting question. Somebody was wondering, are they friendly?
Are they friendly?
Yeah.
Yes, they are very friendly. Especially Kanzi, who we first met, she was actually hand raised. So she's kind of imprinted on humans and really enjoys human contact and human company. If you guys come to the zoo and see her on display, she's actually very engaged with the public. She's always up at the glass. As opposed to Penduli here, who's kind of set in her ways. She likes to stay at the back. She doesn't really enjoy the people's company. So they're all a little bit different, but yeah, they do like us.
Okay. And what about the sounds that they make, the different sounds? What do they mean?
So they've got a bunch of different sounds. So the big one that you kind of hear is they're known as a laughing hyena. So they're giggling a lot. That's just when they're excited. They also have groans and growls. So you heard earlier in Kanzi, when she had her bone, she's kind of groaning. There's a lot of different types of groans. They're not really sure on what they all mean quite yet, but they're doing lots of research on that. They also have like little yips, or they're a little bit louder, and the other one they're known for is their whoops. So when they're hunting at night, it's harder for them to see each other, so they kind of use the whoops to just stay in contact with each other, and it's a lot easier for them to hear each other rather than see each other.
So, and then somebody else was, or quite a few people are asking, what do these guys eat?
So the majority of their diet, they are carnivores, so it is all meat. We give them ground up horse meat. It kind of resembles what they would eat in the wild, which are a lot of different zebras and antelope, a lot of different hoof stock. They will take down smaller things like hares and rabbits, but that doesn't offer much caloric value for the energy that they're putting out. So the bigger the kill, the better, and that's where it goes back to their clan instinct, where they hunt in numbers.
Okay, a few people are wondering, do these guys live together, like in a group, or why are they separated?
So these guys are separated. Just we don't want them to breed with each other, so we've got them separated here. But in the wild, their clan can be up to 100 members. So these guys are actually super smart. They have the intelligence very similar to a primate, which makes them really smart. They can basically know 100 different individuals based on their smells and their sounds, and then the way that they communicate with each other with their whoops.
Okay, and is there any way to tell them apart from one another?
Yeah, so here at the zoo, our four, they look a little similar, but there is some really good characteristics. So you can see Penduli has kind of like an orange part on the back of her neck, and she's a lot bigger than the male. Moj kind of has like a balder face. He's not as hairy. If we look at Echo on exhibit here, that comes over. Echo. He's over at the wall, so he's coming over. You can see he's got a really dark face and dark legs. So there's little characteristics that each have. So when you know them, when you see them after a while, it is easier to tell them apart, but at first it can be a little difficult.
Okay, And then a lot of people are wondering if there was a hierarchy with these guys.
With these guys, there is a little bit. We don't usually put them together. In the summertime, we have Penduli and Moj together, the two old female and male. She's more dominant, so she's on top of the hierarchy. If we were to put them all together, just like in a clan in the wild, the girls have the highest rank in hierarchy. Any girl will outrank any male in any situation, basically. So if a female is born, she will inherit her mom's rank. If a male is born, he kind of is put right to the bottom.
Okay, and there's a few questions. Someone was asking if they like to play.
Yeah, they do like to play. So you can actually see right there, see the Christmas tree. We've got a few out there. We've got random sticks around. So they do like to drag them around and kind of run around and be goofy guys. They do like to drag them around into their cave in the bottom too, which is kind of cool for them. For you to see a big massive tree. These guys are super strong. They've got really strong jaws, which can hold a lot and crunch up those bones, and they've also got really strong necks to be able to tear meat off of a carcass. So they use that. They like to use their strength. We'll take a couple more questions.
Let's see here. Actually, how many males and how many female hyenas do we have?
So we have 2 of each. So at the zoo, we call that 2.2. I think that's going to wrap it up. So thanks for joining me today and meeting our hyenas, and hope you have a good day. See ya.